Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this unboxing video on a Monday, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So this one's quite a big one. This one's a real special one, to be honest. It is really special. It is a Box Generation 1 figure. I've got this figure already, and I've actually got a couple of boxed versions of this, just a standard Hasbro and a Takara version. Whereas this one's really special. The figure itself is it's a 1985 figure. It's one of my absolute favourite figures. I've got to be honest, one of my absolute favourite characters. I don't know how I'm going to do this and talk at the same time. Sometimes I've got to confess, I prep it to teeny. I get the box ready a little bit so it's easier to open. But with this, I haven't really had a chance. I'm just going to go straight into it. Yeah, one of my absolute favourite characters. Now, I would have said, until I started doing this and learning more myself, that this particular figure was never released in the UK. Well, not the Hasbro version anyway, but later. But then as I got a bit older and as I've started doing this and found out a bit more and done a bit of research myself, MB, so Milton Bradley boxed versions of this figure did manage to make their way over here. Because people have told me and people have got them. It was a figure that I always wanted as a child. And I think, I don't know, it's one of them weird things, because you never had them when you were a child. It's nice. I don't know, I just, like with Devastator, didn't have Devastator as a child. So I've got quite a few different versions of him as well. But the reason why I've got this one, and the reason why it's so special, is there's an error on the box. So people might know people might have, I don't know, people might know, people might not know. So people, if they've got this box, they might start checking after this in a second. I think it's a box inside a box here. I really should have prepped this. It is, it's a box inside a box. It's a parcel. And this is where we have to say, I've just been to 2 kids' parties. I feel like I'm back at one. It's past the parcel. This has to say, as I'm doing this as well, and a huge thank you to Tim Banerjee again, because he's the person who managed to source me this. Now, he was the only other person who I knew that had one of these, to be honest. I'd seen it in an article, but I don't think I'd seen it or knew anybody who had it. So yeah, there's an error on a box, and because of the error on the box, it means that it's literally a first edition. So I say 1985. The figure, the character itself is huge. He was huge in the comics. He was huge in the cartoon. I don't mean in stature really either. However, that's a bit ironic because the G1 toy of him is huge. So there's some more clues coming at you there. What else was I going to say? Yeah, comics. Even in the new movies, he had a really big role in one of them. I'm not going to say which one it was because that'll give too much away. Let's see how I can get into this. Yeah, I'm trying to think over. I'm trying to give you some good clues as to, because it's really easy, I suppose, and I don't want to make it that easy. So Chug versions, he's had quite a few. He even had a Binaltech version, which means that he had I nearly said his name. He had an alternators version. There's a masterpiece version of him. There's different versions or variants of masterpieces of him to do with the colours on him. With regards, as I say, to the figure itself, it's a 1985 figure, but it was used, before it was a Transformer, it was another figure as well, but it wasn't a Diaclone. So, and I think you can probably guess that it's not a Diaclone car, due to the size of this incredibly well wrapped box. Now, the problem with this new room is I have zero space around me, and and the error on the box, it's a printing error, which would have been direct from the computer. It's not like a smudge. It's something that's missing from the box. So it is, as I say, it's quite, well, it's really sought after because of this, because people like myself who like to collect variants would like this one, because I say what it means is that it was one of the very first production runs of this figure. So it is a known error. As I say, it did make its way obviously out of the factory. This is insanely well wrapped. I'm so sorry everybody who's hanging on now to see what it is and see what it is, but I'm hoping In fact, I'm pretty sure when we get to the end of it, people who've got one of these will be running off to check it. And other people, even people I've known for ages in the collecting community, didn't even know about this. So as I say, when Mr. Tim Banerjee's like, I've managed to source you one. It's took me years and years and years, but he's managed to source me one. So yes, he managed to source me this. What else can I say about it? So yes, it was released 85. Came out in a Milton Bradley box as well. It's got a Takara box. I've done videos on the Takara box, but I didn't have a standard Hasbro box anyway, and ironically enough, I still don't have a standard Hasbro box. There's third-party companies have done loads of different versions of these, of this particular figure and this particular character. In the comics, he was a movie, no, he wasn't a movie, he was a leader for quite some time in it as well. He was on the front of probably one of the most synonymous and well-known comic editions of a comic ever. That's too many easy clues. So because we're getting closer, the movie that he was in was Dark of the Moon. And he's also in Bumblebee. Of course he was. He was in Bumblebee. And before I show you this, because that is... wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right. So before I show you this one, the final clue is I did a video on that one literally the other night. So this is a G1 boxed Shockwave. So it's the Hasbro version. It's not a KO. It's got the black screws. I'm going to be doing a video. When I do the video on this, I'm going to be explaining the difference between the KOs as well. So yeah, if you've got one with silver screws or a boxed one with silver screws, unfortunately that's a KO. But this is where the error is. If I come here, see the grey underneath? They missed it out for the blast. And it's just as simple as that. That's all it is. They missed out the grey. So it's a Generation 1 vintage first edition, first run Shockwave with the error on the box. So there we go, guys. Let me know if you got it in the comments. Don't put the name down for the people who want to have a guess as well. I've tried to make it as difficult as I could, but of course I could have made it really easy as well. But there you go. I'm going to be doing a video on this, and again explaining the differences as well between this one and the KO as well. But there you go, guys. There he is, Error Box Shockwave. Thanks for watching. Take care.